By the way, if you're interested in purchasing original artwork from me, be sure to stop by my DeviantArt page located in the description below. Hey everybody, this is Lightning Bliss and I am back with another Speedpaint story time. Yeah, I know, I haven't done one of these in a while, but I do promise you guys that I am actually working on some other really big projects that are just currently on hold right now because audio work is being done for them. So please be patient for that. I know they take a while to be made, but they are worth it in the end, in my opinion. I am super excited for them. So I hope this video will give you some enjoyment while you guys wait. Anyways, I did a poll for this Speedpaint story time, and I asked people, what would you like to, what would you like me to share? I should say. What won out, apparently, on my Twitter page was, apparently, everybody wanted to hear the story of how I met my husband. I believe I did share the story before on another video, but I guess you guys want a recap on it, so here it is. And the story is brought to you by the fact that I am actually doing a very ambitious art piece right here as you watch. This is basically an idea of what would it be like if us Brony reviewers were actually in the My Little Pony universe and we were dealing with the invasion of the Storm King and his troops. And needless to say, it's quite chaotic because I have to basically nerf a few characters, and of course we have to follow the rules of Hasbro's My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series. So yeah, it's not looking too good for a lot of us characters in this image, but I still hope you enjoy it. Anyways, how I met my husband, well, it happened, well, long time ago. I believe it was back in 2009 officially, when I didn't really have any friends. I wasn't dating anybody. I actually had a really rough breakup with an online boyfriend. Yes, I've dated online before I met my husband. It was a very rough breakup and I had finally come to terms with it that year. Anyways, I was a mod for this gaming community where I did meet my former ex-boyfriend, and I was one of the founders. I was the leader of the Alien vs. Predator 2 Xenomorph part of the group, because I am a huge Xenomorph fan, or aliens for those who don't know. So I was basically the queen alien. I was the head of the group when it came to the alien side of things. My best friend is actually known as the Ancient, and if you guys are ever curious about looking up the YouTube channel for the Dark Blood Hunters channel, that's where you would find us in some of my previous games I used to play there. I'm considered retired now. I don't play games there anymore, and I actually don't really post content on that channel anymore either, just because, well, I'm retired. But anyways, so I'm in a game. I'm just bouncing around, jumping around, basically looking for a game, or even possibly recruiting people, because that was one of my jobs as the admin of the alien part of our clan, basically, was to look for opportunity of recruiting new members for our group. And two of my members, who both happen to be from Germany, said, hey, we just met this new Xenomorph player and he looks pretty good. You want to give him a shot? Because he's interested in joining. And I'm like, okay, sure, bring him in. Just tell him to come to this server, tell him the password, and I'll give him a test run. So basically, this person I had no idea would become my husband one day. He was known as Zeno, and he played as the runner class alien, which is basically a fast but very low health alien, easy to kill but hard to hit. And I played the classic drone. I was a balance of speed and strength, so needless to say, he had to rely on speed to get me, and I relied on timing his attacks. And so basically I gave him the rundown and said, we'll have a quick game and I'll see how you do. Little did he know, he thought he was supposed to beat me, and he was terrified. And I should also point out, he had no idea I was a girl, because apparently it was considered a novelty or rarity that girls played Alien vs. Predator 2 for the PC at the time. So here we are, we're playing, and yeah, I can't remember what was the score originally, but I did beat him, I remember that. And he assumed that he wasn't going to make it into the group because he was supposed to beat me or something. And I said, nope, you pass. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you can join. And he's like, wait, but I lost against you. And I said, dude, it's not about beating me. I wanted to see how you played and if you're a decent player, you know, are you a good player? Like, not that you are skilled, but are you a nice person? So basically what ran rampant in the Alien vs. Predator 2 server communities is that there was a lot of sexism, there was a lot of racism, there was a lot of there was just a lot of hacking BS stuff going about. People didn't follow the rules, people were abusive. So usually that would come out during a game, so I had to assess if he would actually play the game, and I wanted to make sure he was being a good sport about it, and he was. He never complained. He was surprised at how good I am. You must have played a really long time, and I said, oh yeah, since I was 15, and I believe I was 22, 23 at the time, give or take. I think I was 22. Anyway, I told him you passed, welcome to the group, this is your tags, this is your rank, and you can go up in rank if you want to, depending on your achievements in the group, because we came up with our own achievements basically for our group just to have fun and to give us motivation to keep playing and hang out with each other and to make friends. After that, I thought nothing of it and told him good luck in the clan, and that was it. He later found out that I was in fact a girl, and there weren't many girls in our group, maybe roughly 3 or 4, including me, and everybody else were guys. Anyway, he was so surprised that a girl was playing this game that he thought, hey, we have something in common, maybe I should talk to her for a little bit. So he made the attempt to talk to me and maybe even try his luck, I guess you could say. Those were kind of his words, not mine. But he caught me at a really bad time during a discussion in, oh my gosh, an old Java chat room. Yeah, this was back in the day when Java chat rooms were still a thing. Skype wasn't a thing yet. I was using Yahoo Messenger, if you can believe it. Anyway, I was kind of in a really bad mood because I was still sour about my breakup, and I said some really nasty things about relationships are dumb and love is dumb, and if anybody even tries to do it with me, I will just rip out their spine and shove it up their butt. I was a really angry young adult at the time. I was very sour and I was very aggressive. And of course, I'm playing off my xenomorph character, so I had a very, very short temper, if you can imagine. No, I guess you guys can't imagine. I'm Lightning Bliss after all. I guess maybe y'all could see where that chip on my shoulder came from, though. Anyway, so when he realized that, he decided to pull back his enthusiasm and just said, well, I still want to get to know her. Maybe we can become friends. So that's how it started. He started hanging out in chat rooms more, and it was very, very natural. We began talking, and the more we talked, the more we realized we had a lot in common. He loved horror movies more than anything. I told him I enjoy them too, though I prefer sci-fi fantasy. I enjoyed the Terminator movies. Those were like my favorites, and he just went head over heels for the fact that I was into these kind of movies, because he said every other girl he's met was never into this stuff. They were never into Aliens or Predator or Terminator, Jurassic Park, Dragon stuff, Star Wars. He's not met any girl who was into this stuff apparently in his country, which was Germany. So that's how it all started, and that's how it started to develop in the friendship department, because we both had a lot in common when it came to our interests. However, it got to a point where he got a little personal because he was feeling lonely, and he figured if he's not gonna have a chance dating someone like me, maybe he would try to get back with somebody he used to know. He had an ex-girlfriend too, and they didn't end on a good note because unfortunately, basically he told me she didn't put any effort into the relationship when he did, and it never grew as a result. And he began asking me from a woman's perspective, what could he do better? And he told me everything he tried to do with this other lady. And the more I heard his story, the more I felt like, gosh, this guy is working so hard to make this girl happy. Like he took her on dates, he did all the buying and the purchasing, he made suggestions of what they could do, and the whole time she was just, meh, let's do whatever, let's do whatever, up to you, whatever. But she never made an effort to make suggestions, she never really shared her interests with him, she just let him do all the thinking for the relationship, and it was mind-boggling. There was absolutely absolutely no connection between the two on the emotional level. It was rather sad to hear all this, and the whole time I'm thinking, why are you wasting your time, dude? This girl clearly doesn't have any emotional attachment to you other than to have a relationship. It feels like, oh, that's horrible. So I kind of told him that a little bit, and that he deserves better because he's a good guy, and a lucky girl would be happy to have him with all the effort he steps to make somebody else happy besides himself. It was really heartbreaking. So he thanked me for his advice, and then we just kind of continued on from there about sharing our interests. And the whole time though, I am not reading between the lines. He's asking me what I like to eat, what I like movies, what I like in books, do I like certain food items that maybe one day, you know, that he could try, what are my favorite music. It just kind of went on and on and on. The whole time, I'm not reading between the lines. He's trying to get to know me on a personal level. And it's going over my head. Oh, shocker. So anyway, one night I am talking to another friend of ours who was much, much older than me. And I'm going to say this right now. This was a huge blunder on my part. So I hope people take some lesson out of my experience, because this was a really big no-no. So I was in a mental state of weakness, and I was extremely lonely and really sad, because deep down, I did want to be in a relationship. I did want to make somebody else happy, and I wanted someone to make me happy, because I just realized that, oh man, when you get bit by the first love bite, it hurts. It really does. And all you can think about is wanting to make somebody else happy, and you want them to make you happy too. And you just want to share your life with someone. And that's the state of mind I was in. I really wanted somebody to be there for me. And unfortunately, this friend of ours he was unfortunately not sober. He was 20 years older than me. He clearly wasn't happy with his life either, but he was with somebody else. He was already involved in another relationship, but then he said that he had feelings for me, and that he honestly would love to be with me than his other partner, and that was wrong. It was wrong. And that night I did say that I like you too. I wish that could be true as well. I kind of wish you could as well. But then I realized something. This guy was in a relationship, and it was not fair to what he was saying about his mistress. He had been with her for a very long time, and he was drunk, and I was emotional. This was bad. This was bad. This was just a bad imbalance. This was chemicals and depression, and it's a bad combination. You don't enact on these feelings without being properly sober, if you know what I mean. So the next morning I contacted this friend and I said, look, I said some things to you that I shouldn't have, and you were not sober. I think this was a mistake and we should not have said those things, and I'm sorry, but no, I can't feel for you like that because it's wrong, and your girlfriend deserves better. You should go to her and you should tell her what happened, and you should apologize to her. I am apologizing to you for ever leading you on if I did, and you know, it was wrong and I was in a bad mental state. We should not have done that. So I apologize. Please go and talk to your girlfriend. And he said, you know what, you're right, and I am sorry too. I hope we could just remain friends. And that was it. That's how it ended. And I immediately go crying to Zeno, aka my friend who is now my husband. I told him what happened. I told him the mistake I made and how I corrected it. Basically just cried on Yahoo Messenger with him and told him that I just need to accept the fact that I'm gonna be alone forever, that I am never gonna find the right person, and I'm just gonna get my animation degree, buy a house, get a couple of horses and dogs, and I will live alone. I'll learn to be happy this way. And then he said, not missing a beat, well, I love you. What? I do love you. I've loved you for a long time. Please let me know how you feel. Oh no! So I'm deadpan staring at my computer screen, just unable to talk, like literally cat got my tongue here. And he finally broke the silence and said, could you please let me know how you feel? This feels awkward. And yeah, not to pressure you or anything, but and I'm like, Yeah, I'm trying to recover from this, and this just happened, and now this is happening. Could you give me 24 hours to think about it, please? And he said yes, he'll give me 24 hours. And I'm like, okay, good. I gotta go to class anyway, so I'll talk to you later. I hang up, and I go to school. I was in college at the time, so the whole time, I am a mess of what just happened. I am trying to figure out what he just said was true. Was it true? It had to have been true. Why would he say it otherwise? That would have been a horrible, cruel joke. So I'm processing. I am processing several factors, several facts, several things of what I went through. I had went through an online relationship before and it ended terribly. This is an online relationship. He lives in Germany. I live in America. We've only met each other through Alien vs. Predator 2, a PC game, and we only seen each other maybe through a webcam a few times, and we talk every day, sure, and it was a mess. I was a mess. But the whole time, that entire 24 hours, I could not stop thinking about him and what he said. And then I started to process all those conversations we had the whole time we've hung out together, and that we've actually been really, really good friends that entire time. And oh gosh, I believe it was in 2010 by this point. We have known each other for a year, and he confessed his love to me January 19th of 2010. I remember it accurately. Oh my gosh. So my head is spinning. And finally, my 24 hours were up. I hesitantly relaunched Yahoo Messenger, waited for him to come on, which didn't take less than a minute. And then I told him, I have an answer. Let's have a call. He answers, and I scream at him, "Are you crazy?" And he starts laughing. The first thing he does is he starts laughing hysterically. And I'm just like, why are you laughing? This is serious. And he's like, I'm sorry, your reaction is... You're so flustered and I'm so scared. I haven't been able to sleep because I've been thinking about you this whole time. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you are crazy, I said. First off, how's this going to work? I am not looking for a one-night thing. I'm not looking for just an online relationship. I want more than that. Yeah, I laid out all my cards. Normally, you would never do this with somebody you're interested in dating or maybe wanting to become a boyfriend and girlfriend. But I laid it all out for him. I told him I'm looking for more than just boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm looking for more than just an online relationship. I want things to go somewhere. Is this going to be potentially able to go somewhere? You live in Germany. I live in America. You're German. I'm Texan. You're an only child. I am one out of 6 children. And I'm just, I am a mess. And the whole time, he's taking it all in of what I'm saying. He's letting me vent it all out. He's letting me talk all my concerns about this. But the whole time, I never said no. And then he told me his viewpoint. He says, and I quote, more like paraphrase, but yeah, he says, I've always wanted to come to America, and now I have more of a reason to do so. I am also looking for a long-time relationship. I want to see where this goes. No, I'm not looking for a one-time fling. I do not want strictly an online relationship. I legit want things to go somewhere. After this conversation, and he says, I love you, feelings, the butterflies, they all flew up at once, and I just said, I love you too. I did. I really did. I love this man. I love this man. This man came to me in my time of need. He had listened to everything I had to vent about for over a year. And even though he saw me at one of my worst moments, he still wanted to be with me, and he was taking his time. He waited a whole year to express his emotions to me after getting to know me a little bit. And now he wanted to take things the next step of being boyfriend and girlfriend. And I said, sure, I love you too. Let's see where this goes. So that summer of 2010, he did indeed fly over and stayed with me for a month and my family. My parents were thrilled. My stepfather gave me his blessing. Unfortunately, at the time, me and my dad were not, my biological father, my dad and I were not on good terms. So my father sadly never met him because we weren't on good terms at the time. But things were going so well, and before long he had to go home, and it was a very hard goodbye. We both cried because we didn't know when we'll see each other again. But I promised him, since he flew all the way from Germany to America to see just me, that I promised him that I would take the next step and fly to see him in Germany. That's how it went. But then a disaster unfortunately struck in my family. There were multiple deaths and losses, including my aunt and my biological father and my step-grandfather and my grandmother's brother. This all happened within months of each other, and it was the worst year of my life. I never thought I would be without my father, and thankfully we had made amends before we lost him. I don't really want to go into that story because it's very emotional and painful for me, but during that entire situation, Zeno, aka Sub-Zero I should say now, he was there for me. He really was there for me when my family couldn't be because they were all mourning too. And I did have my mother and my stepfather, but they were going through mourning as well and they needed time. Really, it was Zeno, or Sub-Zero, who was there for me the entire time during my grief, and it was hard. However, I did inherit some money from my father's estate, and I decided to use some of it to go and see him in Germany. And I met his parents. I love them so much. They don't speak English very well, but I love them to bits, and I love his grandparents. His family, they're just the loveliest people, and his hometown is beautiful. I miss it so much. But yeah, things were going well for us, and even at my worst possible time in life, he was there for me through it all. And it wasn't till around, oh goodness, I believe it was 2011, 2012, I believe, somewhere in that. We had been seeing each other back and forth. He would come to visit me in the summer, and then I would go see him in the winter. The last time he went home, he started thinking, and then he realized he made a mistake, but it was already too late. He had to go home. So as soon as he got home, and we got on Skype this time, because now we have Skype, he calls me up. I'm happy that he got home safely and that I miss him very much. And he says, I made a mistake. I should never have gone back home. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? You couldn't stay here, sweetie. The only way you could stay is if you were to. Yeah, I kind of stopped dead sentence, and he was silent too, just waiting for me to talk. And I said, are you proposing to me? And he said, yeah, I believe I am. Are you crazy? He went on to say, Blissy, I love you. I've always loved you. I started thinking about this when I landed in New York for my connecting flight. I realized I did not want to be without you, and I can't imagine my life without you in it. And yes, I want to marry you. I want you to be my wife. I'm crying tears of joy. I can't believe he's proposing to me. He's proposing to me over Skype, guys. I said yes. Obviously I said yes, because we're together today. And the process of immigration and going through all that was a nightmare of itself that took about 2 years before we officially got married in 2013, I believe. The process was a nightmare and it was expensive, but we're finally been together. We've been together for 7 years now, working on our 8th. I still remember every detail of that conversation of how we first met and the proposal, and telling him how hard it was going to be through immigration, but he went through with it and we got through it, and we're here today, and now we're best friends with a group of bronies. And he's been supporting me in my job the entire time. He's been encouraging me to keep at it, to not give up even when times look uncertain, and I cannot imagine my life without him. I really cannot. Things happen in the strangest of ways when you think that you're not gonna find somebody. I mean, even he said before he met me that he wasn't even gonna bother to look anymore because he was so disappointed with his breakup. And me, I was just flat out angry. And yet here we are today. We met each other, we became friends, we became better friends, to best friends, to lovers, to partners, and that's really all there is to it. That's the story. So again, guys, I thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And oh, by the way, this art piece took over 18 hours and 56 minutes to create. I really hope it was worth it, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your support, and keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile. Hey everyone! Once again, this is another special shout out to all my Patriots who supported me back in January of 2021. A big thanks goes out to GameAct3, Night Mist, Sidesteel Rail, Wulfric Hunting, Zion Kraze, Dax Blade, Eighthflame, Rasputin Lenin, Thomas Fan 3751, Color Scales, Dark Pone, Golden Scribe, Joshua A. STERRETT, Lance Wolfstar, Ripple-Effect-MLP, ArticWing, Eragon Nightshade Blaze, FilmerBronyVA, Jirog 1989, Jay Watson, Josh Scorcher, Luigi Man 87, Lycan, MythicVixen, Peter Shull, Reactor Aakor, YowWolf01, Edwin Flores 428, Arcus Acer, Lucky Knight, Nerddragonslair, and Ravon1X. Again, guys, thank you so much for all your support over the past few months and even years even. And thank you to all you new subscriber Patriots. I really appreciate all the support you've given me. Thanks again, and keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the show. I hope you enjoyed it. By the way, if you're interested in purchasing original artwork from me, be sure to stop by my DeviantArt page located in the description below. Whether you're looking for My Little Pony show style, my original style, backgrounds, even TF2 analysis anarchy, or Kingdom Hearts stained glass pieces, even furry commissions, I'll be more than happy to work with you. Be sure to make a reservation today.